You ever find yourself wondering what is a good credit score and what is a bad credit score? In today's video, we're going to go over an article we have at CTV News where it breaks down what a good credit score is and a bad credit score is, and if you can still actually get into home ownership potentially, depending on what your credit score looks like. If you have a question about a credit score, you're not alone. Credit scores leave a lot of mystery for people. Can you have a perfect credit score? What's the lowest credit score people are okay with? What is the average credit score? Are just a few questions that people generally have. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the article and see if it's even possible. Can you get a mortgage with a lower credit score? And if you can, what does that look like for you on your journey to becoming a home owner? My name is Mike Carpino. If you're interested in talking real estate, I cover the GTA all the way to Waterloo. You can text me at the number here on screen if you want to talk real estate with me. And if you'd prefer to have a Zoom call or a one-on-one consultation with me, you can also click the first link in the description box down below and we can do that together as well. So let's get into the article here and see if you truly can get a mortgage with a bad credit score. So the article here is titled, "What Counts as a Bad Credit Score and Can You Still Get a Mortgage?" As mentioned before, it is from CTV News. What is a bad credit score and will you still be able to get a mortgage if you have that bad credit score? Mary, a mortgage broker in Mississauga, Ontario, said it's not impossible to make the dream of home ownership a reality, but there's some challenges that come with a poor credit score. So let's see what that is. What is a bad credit score? Bad credit scores don't have to crush anyone's dreams per se of home ownership, but it's important to know the reality of the situation that you're in. Now, credit scores in Canada, they can vary anywhere from 3 all the way out to 900 being considered your optimal highest possible score, which I don't think you can actually get a 900 credit score per se, but you never know. Maybe somebody out there does have a 900 credit score. What is considered a bad credit score varies, but most lenders are looking for a minimum credit score of 680. So now we have our baseline of what most lenders need. Generally, anything below 680 is considered a bad credit score. The worst by far is anything below 600. And customers can find out their full credit history by visiting a ton of different sites. There's Equifax, there's TransUnion, and they can do this once a year for free. Those that are just looking at your credit score and not a full report may be able to access this through your online banking service. I know TD, I do have access to something like that as well through your apps, and you can get regular updates. What can lower your credit score? Now, this is very important. So if you don't own a home or you're thinking of buying a home in the future, this is a section you might want to pay attention to. Missed payments can lead to bruised credit. Even if you're making a minimum payment, anything can be hurting your credit score. Having a high balance also affects your credit score. Even though you're paying on time, consistently carrying high balances will have an impact on your score. Consumers should keep their credit card balance below 60%. So that's actually a good baseline for you when you are making your credit card payments to pay attention to. And she also recommends that if you can do it below 50%, you'll be even better off. Now, when it comes to getting a mortgage, you got two options. You got the bank or you got a mortgage broker. So let's see what those look like here. Those with the bruised credit score should know what the options are when you're looking for a mortgage and what will likely be ruled out. So according to her, the regular banks will not be able to help you if your score is below that threshold. So if you are below that 600 or below that desired 680, you're going to have to go through a mortgage broker. Not that that's a bad thing. In my opinion, I'd prefer to go through a mortgage broker, but that's neither here nor there. That's a personal decision depending on who the client is and their specific situation. She also states here that would-be buyers should first contact a mortgage broker or mortgage professional who will be able to work with them while shopping around for different rates. Some brokers even advertise that they work with clients who have bad credit. Very good to know. Trying to get buyers approved, even if they're turned down by their bank, brokers might have different types of mortgages and different alternatives with finding a lender who's willing to maybe deal with you as a potential tenant who has bad quote unquote credit. Now, how can we improve our credit score? This is something that's probably more important than anything else, is how can we get out of that hole that we are in? Even if you're able to find a mortgage, people thinking about buying a home should try and fix their credit as soon as possible. Paying your bills on time, making the most impactful way that the credit score can be fixed. So pay your bills on time, pay them in full, have a zero balance every month instead of a 60 or 50% remaining balance. If you can do that, your credit score will get bumped up. She recommends setting up automatic payments with online banking systems. Even setting this up so that the banks take the minimum amount when bills are due will make your life easier. The last thing you want to do, and I hate to say it, I've missed a payment here or there because I forgot to have auto payment set up, which is now set up. If you have auto payment set up, you don't have to think about it. You can get that balance gone every single month without the risk of it screwing up your credit score. And how long does it take to fix your credit score? That's an important question. It can take years to clean up your credits. She states here it can take up to 2 years to start to repair that credit. So if you are young and you're thinking maybe I want to buy a home in 3 to 5 years, start repairing your credit now by doing these simple things like paying off your bills in full. If you find your bills are too high at the end of the month to pay in full, I think maybe we need to look at what you're spending your money on and pare down what you really need. Instead of worrying about paying a certain balance, worry about paying it all off. Get that credit score as high as you possibly can. So no credit history or a new Canadian, different story here. So the broker recommends newcomers to Canada and people without any credit history get a credit card immediately, even if this is just a secured credit card. Secured credit cards work somewhat like a debit card. The holder pays the maximum balance before any money is spent, so there's no risk of the bill being missed. And the limit can be set for those who are worried about accountability of overspending. I know a lot of us with credit cards, yeah, just swipe and you don't look, right? So you don't want that to happen. She also says that it may feel ridiculous to have this type of prepaid card, but it can provide those who are new to the country with a lower risk, and you can build up a credit score, because having no credit is just as bad as having bad credit in a lot of cases here. So over time, as the card holder proves themselves to be a good borrower, the credit score will improve and the borrower's opinions, including mortgages and things that are available to them, might become a little bit more accessible than they were. Those applying to borrow money for a vehicle or a home often need to have 2 good years of clean history, as mentioned earlier. So 2 years being that kind of barrier for good history or to start repairing your history. In addition, she says that lenders may prefer borrowers with at least 2 different methods of credit, such as credit cards, line of credit, multiple credit cards. And she says that ideally, those methods of credit have a minimum available limit of $2,500 each to prove that the borrower is in fact responsible. So we've went through the article here from CTV. We've got a couple things we can do to repair our credit score. We know what the lowest credit score that we can kind of potentially get a mortgage with is, and we know the cutoff limit is really 600 for somebody just to say, see you later. And 680 is that cutoff. So once you go below 680, it is considered a bad credit score. Anything 700 plus, you're looking at having a lot less issues getting a mortgage. Obviously, if you're in the 800s, you're going to be better off than somebody who's in the 700s. But I don't think there's as big a jump from a 750 to an 850 per se when it comes to getting an actual mortgage. So if you have bad credit today, what are you going to do? We're going to start paying off all of our payments at the end of every single month. We're not going to carry a large balance over. You don't want to just do the minimum payment. If you have to do the minimum payment, make sure you are set up for automatic withdrawal so you're not going to get screwed into the ground with your credit score. Ideally, though, you want to have a 50% or less balance on your credit card carried over every single month. Perfect world, though, it is 0 every single month. You do need to have 2 forms of credit, so make sure you have multiple credit cards or line of credit, so that way you can build up a credit history. Next thing we want to figure out is how can we repair our credit score? As the article stated, 2 years of clean credit history will start to move your numbers up in an upward trajectory, which will give you a better chance of actually getting and securing a mortgage to buy a potential home. And if you're watching this video and you're new to Canada and you're trying to figure out how the heck can I actually get a home, start getting credit. So get one of these prepaid cards, get whatever you can get in terms of credit availability so you can start getting a credit score and move yourself up that rung. It might take you a couple years, just like somebody who has bad credit, but you need to start establishing yourself as a Canadian citizen who pays their debts and who's able to have the responsibility of carrying a couple credit products, essentially. So let me know in the comment section down below, are you one of those people who really needs to work on their credit going forward so you can achieve home ownership? Or if you own a home already, was credit even an issue when it came to the approval process? Or did you already understand what you needed to do and you already had good credit right off the bat? It's been another article analysis here from CTV in this case. If you want to chat real estate, feel free, text me at the number here on screen. We can go back and forth and figure out what makes sense for you in the real estate market. If you want to figure out a plan for yourself over the next 2 to 5 years, maybe you're so far away in your head from getting into the real estate market, there is never too far off of a time for you to start thinking about what makes sense for you in the future. And I'm happy to set up a plan for you and put you out there on the right foot. My name is Mike Carpino. I'll see you in the next video. If you want to chat further, click the first link in the description box down below. We can hop on a one-on-one call if that is something that you are interested in as well. Bye for now.